wrestlers with open arms. In the heat of the struggle, we feel no harm. Through the finger grip like steel so sharp. Together we thrive like a thunderstorm.
Bam, we're live.
Sweet.
How's it going,
I'm
brother?
having what did I say it was called again?
Oh, it was
Um,
cookie.
Blue Parfait or something? No,
Yeah, some
it's
kind
so good.
of good.
Mhm.
Nice.
So you're going to Lethbridge this weekend?
Yeah, buddy.
Are you
Yeah.
going to try and win the Supers?
You know what? I think Josh might be going.
Bellin?
Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah,
Well, you might as well beat him.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try a Mason move on him or something.
Did you get a new camera?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got a new one. Yeah,
It's wider.
yeah. I know.
Yeah,
It's like, I know.
it's
I know.
good.
It's
I
4K. So
I
4K.
saw a webcam at Goodwill for $4, 720p. I was like, I should have bought it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this one here, I bought the Brio, the Pro.
Hmm.
It's like $300, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah.
I still gotta fuck with the settings a bit and get it dialed in, but that's not too
And
bad.
like, I like your little banners you were talking about.
Oh
Good
yeah.
looking, right?
Oh, we got Jerry in the house. Nice.
What's up, my man?
How are you?
Is it straight up or sideways?
Oh,
Um,
that's pretty good. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that right there?
Yeah, whatever's good for you, brother. Fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know. I know Paul would be going, turn your camera, turn your camera.
I don't pay attention.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. No, yes. Yeah, no rush, man. Yeah, I was wondering if you knew what mountain time was. I don't know what time it is there. What time is it there?
Uh, just turned 8.
Okay, so you're like
I
on
don't
10.
know if you were central or mountain. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, yeah, mountain, mountain. Yeah, so how's Jerry?
Yeah, hanging in there.
You still training?
Trying to.
Probably not right
But
now. You didn't walk
I
long.
just starting to get back. I got a little fucked up with my losing my dad, and
Yeah, so right about
so
that.
it did some damage, and still not better yet, but. I think it's probably the single most toughest thing that's ever happened in my life. And it's he's the only guy in the world that wanted me to be better than him. So to
You really
me,
do.
that's
You want
that's
that.
challenging. So yeah, it's a daily thing. And I've been, I literally bought a big house with an in-law separate, and I've had them living with me for the last 7 years. So
Mhm.
it's
That's nice.
it's not like I saw him periodically. I
Mhm.
see him all the time. So
Daily
we grew,
routine.
yeah, we grew super close. So it was just tough when I came home today because my mom's still not over it. And she's never going to be over
Never
it. But
will. But yeah,
that was her partner 50 years. So
you got to learn how to live life again.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, and it's just difficult because everything you do, everything you see, everything you touch, in one way or another, reminds you of him. So you're like, okay, I mean, it's great, but it's tough.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At least, I mean, it was good you had him there for the 7 years prior. I mean, that's
Yeah,
nice. I mean,
yeah,
you know, I've lost a lot of my family too, and it's tough. And I try to just, do the celebration, the life thing, and just always remember, the good times, and you know what I mean, and what they did for
yeah.
me in my life. Yeah, yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, it was tough when I lost my sister. And that was 9 years ago, and now here it is. Boom, you lose your dad, and this is eye opening. But and then it just then you sit there and you question everything too, because now it's like, oh, I should have did this, I should have did that, I should have did this, and then it's if I'd only get 5 more minutes, and I just the takeaway, I guess, is just really value the time that you have and make the most of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100%, man. 100%. Well, So what's on the horizon for Jerry? Is like I
I
imagine now you're just gonna find yourself and get back into training and
yeah, I literally just Sunday I dusted off the weights and said, all right, I gotta push myself to just go back to doing what I know, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
train. So it was like a tough month, but so
yeah.
now it's okay. I got a goal, and well, just gotta push myself to get there.
Yeah, it'd be, it's a good outlet too. I mean, I know when I'm going through shit, those what my weights and everything I got behind me, that does a lot for me mentally too. The weights
Yeah,
are a good outlet for our emotions, right? So,
I agree.
yeah,
I think it's just the tough part is being able to get enough sleep that you want to function and that you can do it. So
yeah, yeah.
they put me on this like Ativan or some shit to try to
Oh, yeah,
the anxiety and whatnot.
yeah,
So the problem with that is you take it. I don't want to get addicted to it, and
yeah.
so I
That's
just try to take it and whatever.
well, I suffer from panic and anxiety. I get that seasonal depression every time winter comes and the sun stops, goes down at like 5 o'clock, 4:30.
Oh yeah,
It fucks me up, man. Like, yeah, and I don't know what it is, but I get like anxiety and I can't sleep. And I get anxiety around sleep, like where it's like I gotta go to sleep, and next thing you know, I'm up for 2 days bullshit, right? So
yeah.
I know what that's all about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, it's true.
Oh, yeah, and you need your rest, man. Rest is, you know what, working out's one thing, but the rest is just as important as the workout, you know?
No, I hear you. It's just
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not there yet. I lay in bed and all I do is think, and then
Mm,
I get those panic attacks, and then it's
yeah,
it's one thing after another, and then I become claustrophobic, and then all of a
I'm
sudden
bad. Yeah,
I'm burning up, and then I got to go pour cold water on myself, and
yeah,
by the
I
time you're
know.
done, you're like, holy shit, it's already 2:30 in the
In
morning.
the
It's like I gotta
morning,
get
yeah.
sleep,
Yeah,
you
and then
know?
now you're really stressing because now you're thinking, "Fuck, I got to be up. I got to fucking work. I
Yeah,
got this." So, yeah, I hear you. I
yeah.
it's actually kind of crazy because that's something that I go through, and I mean, I haven't lost my parents, but both my dad just had a massive heart attack, and my mom's got stage 4 cancer. So it's like I've been struggling with some of that stuff because I know what's around the corner, right? So it's like
That's yeah,
yeah, it caused a lot of panic, anxiety, and it puts us in a midlife crisis ourselves because then we realize we're not immortal anymore, right? Like
it's
we're
true.
mortal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it really
yeah,
shines a light on shit.
it does. It does. So, well, we know, I guess, well, yeah, well, our hearts go out to you, Jerry, and I'm really sorry for your loss.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I hope things get really much better for you. So, yeah, you took a big loss to Hermes. But
Levan.
oh yeah, the Levon, yeah,
Come
yeah,
on, Brian. You got to
and
do your
Hermes,
research before you get
yeah,
these guys on,
yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah. Well, no, my mind's not there now. I'm thinking about
No,
other
I'm
shit.
just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
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 Levon
yeah, yeah.
at
You finally got the
Atlantic
pole
City.
Levon, but
yeah,
yeah. So how did I mean? We seen how it went. I mean, he studied you, is what he did,
yep.
and
Yeah,
he,
he did great. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
I'll tell you, right? Not that this would have changed a whole lot, but I did this stuff and it was a nesty or some adrenaline shit up my nose, and it made me think like I was going to die, right?
yeah,
And ended up right before the match. And again, this doesn't change the outcome. This
yeah,
all
yeah,
this
yeah.
did was it
Cause
made me
anxiety.
so it was like I panicked, right?
Mhm,
And everything that I thought I was going to do, had he gone low on my hand, like I knew he would probably try,
mhm.
but I thought for some reason I'd be able to hit quicker than him, and then I get into my position and I'd still be able to make it a battle. But I knew I wanted to try to pop back and to force him to come and try to rise on my hand, and
Yeah,
then I could have went in for the dive.
think it. Yeah,
But I didn't try it at all.
mhm,
Right. So,
yeah,
and my buddies were there that I trained with. They're like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You know what you're supposed to do?" And I says, "I know." but I won't do it.
Not clicking. Yeah,
So,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
yeah,
I've been there.
it's like the definition of insanity is you're doing the same thing over and over again and you expected a different result, and
Yeah.
that was the epitome of it right there. So I did the same thing every time rather than trying to at least just pop out to make him come and move off the bottom of my hand, because all I needed to do was to get a slip, right? And then we start strapped together, and then his hand's not grabbing so
Yeah.
low. And I wanted to get in the straps, but I didn't do it.
Yeah. He kept you from the straps. And, it just goes to show, even at your level, because you're one of the best in the world. I mean, we suffered from that. Like I totally like hear you. I've done the same thing where it's like I know what I need to do, but I can't
Yeah,
make myself do it. Right? Like, yeah,
no, it's true.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, I mean, I don't think that match defines you much. And, like there's not too many people on the earth that can beat you. You know what I mean?
No,
So
I know.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and I mean, with that being said, Jerry, you're one of the more decorated guys, I would say. Like you've pulled a lot of these guys throughout the years. How did Levan feel comparatively? Like when you can you comfortably say like he's one of the best arms you've ever felt? Like when everyone's talking about how he's on a different level than where
Yeah,
things have
he's
been.
I I felt okay when we were setting up. I mean, his hand's massive. I felt okay there. But the force that he brings behind, you know, that arm and that hand, it's undeniable, right? So I mean, there's no question that there's a ton of power and that he's smart, right? I mean, he's smart enough to go low on my hand. He had a good grip. He prevented me from slipping. So he's smart. He's super strong, and feeling that much power. Although I did feel like when I got down super low, whether it looks it or not, I felt as though I was right there, and I was at the pin line, so it was whatever. I still lost, but I
You
felt as
felt it.
though I had a moment of stopping right there, right? And if I had locked in more, maybe whatever. There's all the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but
Mhm.
I felt a little bit of vulnerability from him when he went down all the way, and it was right at the end. I felt as though I could have helped, but I didn't.
Yeah,
So
but you've had problems like in the past with like Travis, and then you figure him out. Now,
Mhm.
you think if you can go on a run, and you get a chance now with Levon, do you think even though you didn't execute that day, did you feel what you needed
Yep.
for the
Yeah.
next time you get that chance
I
again?
I feel like, yeah. Now I have to prove myself. I'll have to win a couple more matches to try to get a rematch against the dude. But as we see, he's going to get a rematch with Hermes. He had a rematch with Devin. So I think it's inevitable if I can prove myself a couple more times to get back up there and then go against Levan one more time, right?
Yeah,
To at least allow me the opportunity to try something,
yeah. Well, now
and
we.
having felt him, right?
Mhm.
I am super impressed, right? He's
Yeah,
hands down, he's impressive. But your gears go to work in your head, and you think, okay, I know what I need to do differently, right? And I know how I would approach it a little bit differently, and that's gonna be the key as long as I get that one more shot. I'm not getting younger, so it's gonna have to be quicker.
yeah. Quicker, yeah. But you're still in great shape, and I mean, you look good. I mean, that match with Alex Cadette. Wow. Like wow. That was no one expected that. I almost think you were the underdog in that match, at
Yeah,
some
I think it was close to like an even thing. I think with most of the if you call them lines or something, right?
Mhm.
Like on betting, right? But it was close to about even. But I think they had me at like 51 and him at 49. But yeah, I was on that day. My hit was on. Everything was on, and he enabled me to get into my lane.
Yeah. Boy, do you ever. Man, that was crazy. Oh, the chat's asking, is
Yeah,
Eddie
I was gonna
Hall a
say.
bigger shit disturber than does he talk more shit than Devin? Eddie?
Who? Which
Eddie
one?
Hall. Did he talk more shit
Oh
than
yeah, yeah.
Devin?
He was the hoot. We were around him all week,
Uh,
and Eddie Hall is by far he's like wants to be Brian's kryptonite, and he had a little doll, and the shit that comes out of his mouth, he's funny, right?
Oh yeah,
He's
I like
just like,
him.
he's a riot to be around. He went into the ocean, in that Atlantic Ocean over there. It was freezing cold out,
Mhm.
but he he goes in it, and then he comes back out, and he's like, when he's coming up to the hotel, I'm like, oh my God, you went in the water? He goes, yeah, yeah. And then everyone's telling him, like, that's like the dirtiest water around, and yada, yada. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, great. He goes, no one told me that there's AIDS in that water, right? And I'm like, oh, man,
Oh no.
this guy's a who. But
Yeah,
yeah, he's
yeah,
funny.
What'd you
yeah.
think
And
of Brian?
Yeah.
what's that?
What'd you think of Brian Shaw?
Massive, right? I mean, Brian was just he's a big dude. Anyone that's, 430 or 440 pounds that, is got abs, you got to stay away from. But he's probably the nicest, biggest dude I've ever met in my life. He literally is just genuinely a sweetheart of a dude. Um, we connected, we chatted a lot, exchanged numbers. I told him I'd come out there and practice with him. He's got a huge facility out in Colorado.
Yeah.
So, I got to get out there because I'm a Broncos fan anyway. So it'll give me a reason to go out
Sweet.
that way.
Yeah,
Nice.
do you think he's got a real shot at you give him 3 years, he could probably make some waves in the arm wrestling world. You
I don't
think?
think there's any question about his strength, but arm
He's
wrestling
still
is
no
not just
standard.
strength, right? So
No.
he's got to adapt and learn the technique and be able to apply it. The difference is in his toolbox, he's got shit that people would die for, right? So, but is he going to be able to transition? And I think he's determined and he pushes himself harder than most people push himself. So I would say that he could definitely be a force. If he can put it all together, that's going to be a one lethal opponent.
Yeah, he's so big and strong, eh?
Hmm.
Yeah. Hey, do you got any questions, Zach, for Jerry? Because I know you can't stay long.
Yeah, I just popped on to see what you guys were saying. Yeah, I mean, who do you want Brian Shaw to pull next, Jerry?
I think it was awesome to see him pull Eddie Hall. I think you don't want Brian to pull. He's not ready, I don't think, for one of the elite contenders, but I think he's ready for someone that's really good, right? And so now I think you got to establish who would be a good opponent for him. Would it be maybe Larry Wheels? Would it be, um, you know, if I was a matchmaker, and I'm not really the best of matchmakers, but you want to get someone that's equally to his talent level. So, you don't want it to be a lopsided match, and then the last thing you want is Brian to give up, right?
Do you think
And
like a Leonidas, or is Leonidas too much?
I think he's too
no,
much.
I think Leonidas might be a little more advanced for him, but I think that could be a good opponent for him because Leonidas isn't fast, and if Brian goes against someone that isn't fast, his strength should be able to equalize the match. Because I
Good
think
point.
where he's got to work on is people coming out on his fingers, right? Because what I've seen is, when he was pulling Eddie, and then when he was practice pulling and stuff, that's what people are trying to hit. Is it trying to go out on his hand because he hasn't put that together yet? And I mean, this is a guy that picks up dumbbells that are 200 pounds and pitches them and just picks them up
Yeah.
like it's nothing, So
Yeah, he does that
um,
1 inch dumbbell or whatever it's called. What's that dumbbell called when
The
they kick?
Thomas Inch.
Yeah, the
yeah, the
Thomas. Yeah.
Thomas, yeah. So I've inevitably I'd like to see him go against maybe Nick Stone. Nick.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good match for him. And because Nick was ranked, in the top few in the country, so someone like that where it's enough for him to establish that yes, Brian is progressing, right, and Nick's been at it now for a while, and Nick is someone that also comes from a powerlifting background.
Yeah, no, it's true. And
No, that would be
Nick's a
awesome to see.
beast. Yeah.
All right,
You
guys.
know,
Well, have a good rest of your show. Thanks for coming on, Jerry. Hope you guys
Thanks,
have a good day.
okay, brother.
thanks,
Have a
bud.
good shift.
See you guys.
Okay, brother. Eddie Hall, if he would have spent more time getting to the straps again, I think, I'd like to see Eddie continue arm wrestling because you know what? In the short time he spent with Neil, he got pretty comfortable on the table. And in the strap, he did look dominant. I think he could have turned that match. He might have won that match if he was concentrated as much on getting to the strap rather than talking so much shit. What do you
Yeah.
think about Eddie's
No,
position?
I think you're right. I think he showed that he deserved to be up on that table. He definitely put some work in, and you're talking about two massive, strong dudes, right?
Yeah,
So it really just comes down to a little bit of skill. Who had a little bit more skill and who didn't? And because I think they're both equally amazing strength athletes, so it's just coming down to that one little bit. So one mistake, and it could have went the other way.
yeah, yeah. Now when it comes to arm wrestling, I guess you're kind of tied, right? I mean, I don't know if it's public information, but are you contracted, right? You can't
Yeah,
actually pull. Yeah, okay. Okay.
yeah. I mean, they're good to me,
Yeah.
right? And if I was to chat with them, as long as it's not someone else that's contracted, I could do it.
Yeah, yeah. No, the chat was asking if Brian held a competition, would you honor a super match there? But I don't. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you were tied in on well,
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
I
like
it just
either,
it
do you?
couldn't be against someone else that's contracted.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully that answers their question. I tried it. There was a lot of chat, so I was like trying to pick and choose which ones I ask. Yeah. But who would you actually like to pull like in the top 10, like
Uh,
other than
I
LeBron?
think I think Hermes, I'd want that match back again.
Yeah,
Run that back because when I went against him, I had pneumonia,
yeah,
and I think I need a redo of that one. And then I think obviously there's been a lot of hype around Devin.
of
He's
course.
been growing, so I think ideally I'd want either Devin or Hermes. Um,
I
and
think
that
Devin would be so entertaining though, because you know what? Your stamina and Devin's also he's got stamina too. And
yeah,
your match, even your previous match, I mean, that for us as fans, that would be probably a blessing to
yeah,
see. Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, that'd be a good
Yeah,
one.
it's two North American dudes, so
Yeah, that
I think
too.
that
Yeah,
it
that
would
too.
be cool to have it set up, and he's brought a lot to the sport, and he's getting bigger again, but he seems like he blew up a little bit this time in a
He
couple
did.
different areas, but
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if his stamina is quite the same being heavy.
right, right.
Yeah, so with that, and it's not muscle he's putting on.
That's
You
what I'm
know,
saying. That's what I said in the wrong areas.
well, you know what I was saying. I got in an argument with somebody in somebody's chat a few weeks ago, and I was saying if Devin did the core lifts in the gym and actually did what he did, do everything he's doing now, but add 2 core lift days and build like actual strength. I think that's the only way Devin is going to ever beat Levon. Devin is kind of maxed out power wise, and no matter how much technique he has, I think Levon's going to be too much for him. But
Yeah,
I think if he was to start bench pressing, squatting, doing actually some of the stuff you do in the gym,
yeah.
Devin, I think, would be a totally different arm wrestler. But he doesn't think so. But I mean, I think that's the only if Devin ever wants to beat Levon, that's what he's going to have to do. What do you think?
No, he's got to put the size on, and he has to get more strength.
Yeah,
I mean, those are the two areas that hurt him against Levan.
yeah,
There's no question Devin's a technically smart puller,
yeah,
right? But if you can be the smartest race car driver in the world, but if you're driving a Fiat and someone else has a Bugatti, I don't give a shit how good of a driver you are, you
yeah.
ain't winning.
That's right. You're right. You're right. Now everybody in the chat saying, or Jeffrey's saying, Michael Monster Todd and you again. But after that
Yeah,
last one, I didn't think you'd ever want to pull him again.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. He's actually coming up this weekend. So
Oh, that's awesome. Right on.
yeah,
It's good.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys are friends, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though you've had some crazy matches where you wouldn't think you guys are friends, but
Yeah, no, no. On the table, there is no friend, right? But
no, no, that's right.
off the
That's right.
table, yeah, no, he's a good dude. I literally just got off the phone with him maybe 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Are
Well,
you gonna
I
get lots of film when he's out?
Yeah, I'm sure. It'll be interesting. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a little bit rusty, but maybe the rest will be good for me. It's just a matter of he knows what I just went through, so
Mhm.
um, we'll play it by ear and go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last time he came up and visited, we were getting the videos ready, and then they just got put away real quick. I was doing phenomenal, right? And they're like, we're just gonna put
Shoot.
those away.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And I don't care. I didn't proceed to film anything or whatever, because again, it's practice. Who
Yeah,
cares?
practice
This.
is different than you know what? I used to when I was just a fan, I never understood that. Now I know. I know practice is totally different. I mean, I've had guys where I in practice, I'm like, oh, I'm crushing them. I'm holding them like, oh, he can't even budge me. Then I go have a match with them and they smoke me. Like they kick my ass on the setup. You know what I mean? There's so
Yeah,
much more. I mean, practice, yeah, you might be able to be physically, or maybe you're a little stronger in practice, but there's so much more to arm wrestling than just, you know what I mean? Just slow
yeah,
play
yeah.
someone. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry,
Food
guys.
time. This is his annual
Yeah. Oh, I
food
always
break.
get a delivery.
Feeding
Every
time.
podcast, my wife brings me a nice little delivery of supper.
That's a good woman you got there.
She's a good woman. Yes,
So
she is.
Jerry, I have a kind of off-topic question for you, but I noticed that your bench is really, really good. And what have you done over the years to get your bench to where it is?
Um, I've primarily focused on it, and I just I do stupid, weird stuff, and but I do diamond push-ups, right? So if you keep your hands together and you do a push-up and you touching your nose to it, it's just like benching, right? And but it's ridiculously hard because your hands are together. So when you're pushing back up, you feel all the pain and pressure inside your joints, and then I've just pushed myself where one of the things that God, I came so close to doing it, and I pissed off I missed it. But the 225, I had my son spotting me, and I was trying to get it with just my right hand and with one hand. But the hardest thing is the balance,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
not the
Yeah.
weight; it's the balance,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, I looked like the most contorted individual. Like I'm half off the bench, and I'm like leaning over with the right, and I'm like I'm trying to push it up, and it's going up, and I'm losing the balance, so it's teetering. And so my son grabs it, and he's like, "No, why the f did you grab it?" I says, "I would have got it." I says, "We got to do it again." So I went to go do it again, and then I had an epic fail. Right? It's like
Yeah.
it wouldn't go back up. So I was like, "Oh my god, you screwed me up." But he did the right thing. He thought I was going to drop it.
I
He didn't
I
want to see me
started
fix it.
I started doing the 225. I remember when you were doing it, you were around 50 something reps, and I said I thought you got up to what did you get up to?
65.
Yeah, so my goal was to get to 50, and I got to
Yep.
32. So
Yeah. There you go. So you're on
yeah,
your way
well, I'm
there.
trying. I was
Yeah.
watching you because I was watching your training.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? When you get going good again, you get feeling better.
Yeah.
Post your training because a lot of people watch it, and I mean I was watching it and I started mimicking some because I press too, but
Yeah.
I'm not a go-to presser. I'm more of a I use it as a finish,
Yep.
um, but I like pressing, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna triceps and chest, man. You know what I mean? So
That's those are the keys to it.
they
I
are, they are, yeah,
That and I even though people think it isn't, it is your fingers too. You got to
yeah,
have fingertip strength,
yeah.
right? So one of the things I do is I do pull-ups on a 2x4
A two by four. I
with
watch you
just
do
my
that.
fingertips. So I'll do pull-ups, boom, 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 right? And then the last one, I'll do whatever 20, 25. And the last one, I'll hold myself for a minute at 90 degrees and
Yeah,
with just your fingertips. Hurts like hell, but that same motion is when you get someone and you're in a press,
yeah,
the
and then
whole
you got
key is don't let them roll the fingers all the way out.
yeah,
You got to keep them in because the minute they roll all the way out, you now become where you can't win, right? You're
hmm
going to go to the pad and
yeah,
they're so high up that you're below the pad. You
hmm
follow me?
yep,
So key is here. That's where Camille's error was against Michael Todd. He let him get all the way out on his fingers, and Michael knows from pulling me that work the fingers, work the fingers, work the fingers, work the fingers, and that's what ended up being Camille's.
Downfall.
Yep.
Yeah, because that, Mike, you know what? I was so impressed by Michael in that match, man. Because Camille, his press, especially to get that deep, because that's his main only move, right? So, I mean, he does it different than you. And actually, he should watch you more often. Because, like you said, yeah, you're right. You need those fingertips. You can't let those go, because that's going to be your pinning. Yeah, it's going to be your pinning strength, right?
You think you guys would double press if you pulled Jerry? You think you guys would both end up pressing each other?
I think, not to be a dick, but I don't think I respect him and whatever, but I don't think he's at that same point.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And I think that I think he's going to be super strong. I think he's going to get into his move, but I think I've been doing the move so long that I've gone against a million people that try it, and I have no problem stopping it.
Yeah. I guess one more topic while we're on different arm wrestlers. We both train with Matt Mask, Brian and I, and he's pulling Kurt Gallagher-Bayev. What do you think about that match?
I think it's going to be an amazing match. And what does Matt have to come in at on weight for that match?
105 kg.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think
242 or
232, I think it is.
232. Yeah. So it's going to be a light Matt, but Matt's energy is like second to no one, right? And I love seeing the explosiveness of Matt. He's someone that you can't not like, right? And so I think he's going to be reliant on that, because Ungabayev is a super technician, right? Yeah. He proved that when he beat John Brzezinski. He proved it when he beat Michael Todd. I mean, he's got so many weapons in that arsenal. So I think that Matt's going to have to be super explosive, right? Get the hit on Ungabayev and then keep him in a position where he's going to have to stay and wear him out, because, Matt's got stamina. Right. It's just a matter of Matt's, thing is he's impulsive. Right. So he wants to keep hitting. Can he stay in control? And maybe slow hits are going to help or work. But I think that Ungabayev is going to wait for him to make a mistake and then try to come back. Yeah. Right. Because Ungabayev's not as explosive as Matt. Matt's, fast, explosive, and strong. And I think his long arm is going to be a factor, right? But I've been super impressed by both people, but in different ways. I think Ungabayev is just an ultimate technician, where he studies people, goes in and knows a game plan, and then has it set up, and then he's able to carry through and establish, I'm going to do this, and then the follow through is key.
Yeah, he's a ninja. He's a ninja on the table, man. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, and Jerry, I gotta go as well. My work break is over. I just got time to jump in, but it was a pleasure talking with you. And I'm sure I'll see you at an event one day. I travel around with Matt all the time. I haven't got to run into you yet, but I'm sure I'll see you. And
you didn't go with Matt. You didn't go to Matt's match when he went against me.
No, I wasn't into the sport like crazy yet. Not yet. So. But I'm sure I'll see you around. And then, there's 30 people watching. So, guys, make sure if you're not subscribed to subscribe as well. We appreciate the support, and keep tuning into this, guys. All right, Brian. Take care. Jerry, once again. See you guys later.
Take care. Don't work too hard.
Okay, I won't.
He's a pharmacist. Yeah.
No way. Is he really?
Yeah. Well, he's an assistant right now. He's working towards being a pharmacist.
Good for him.
Yeah. He's a good kid. He's him, Zach, and myself do this podcast. We do it every Tuesday, but we do it other nights too. And basically, we just love talking arm wrestling. That's all it really is.
Yeah, no, it's a good time.
Yeah, and I reached out. You know what? Thank you so much for answering me, because a lot of guys don't even answer me right when I ask them. So
yeah, I figured I had to get my ass back in gear. So it would be a good thing for me to do, and try to change my thought process a little bit and get back.
Get your mind. You got to find ways to get your mind free, because that's the thing too, right? We fixate on something, and it's hard because we can't think outside of it, so it starts consuming us, right? So you just gotta find ways to just get back to living for the moment, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do to change what already happened. So I mean, it's live and learn, but you never forget. And I think that an ultimate life lesson that I was able to pull away, and it's a painful one, but is, time, right? Time doesn't stop for anybody. So maximize the time you have, right? And, forget about these bickering that people have and just
Yeah.
let it go, right? Why waste time that you're never going to get back with bickering? Because just be the bigger person and
Yeah.
then, move forward, because the only guarantee we have is that, our time has an end date.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
having that end date is inevitable, right? It's just you don't know whose is when, right? But I know that I've changed my mindset, and now I'm focused on, listen, let me do quality time with my family. Let me
Right.
make memories with people that mean stuff to me, because that'll carry on forever. And
Yeah.
I don't want them to live with the same regrets that I feel like I have, even though I feel like I've done everything that I could do. Could I have been better? Sure, I probably could have been better.
Yeah.
And I could have did little things, and it just sucks that you look back and you're like, oh, what I would give for 5 more minutes, right? And it's so
Yeah.
true. But
Mhm.
it is what it is. So I don't know. Just life is short. Just live it to its fullest, and make sure that those around you don't don't waste time fighting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it
All this
just
drama shit all the time over nothing, eh? It's
yeah
like, that's one thing about arm wrestling, I love it. I'm so passionate about it. But,
yeah
just the drama, even in our little circle, because arm wrestling's small, really, really, right? And
yep.
I mean, you see the stupidest dramas, and it's just like, really, we're too small
It's
for this, right? Yeah, yeah.
it's
Plus, I
cool. I
love
mean,
the community. Yeah, like this community is the best community to be a part of. I mean,
and I've said that my whole life, right? I mean,
yeah,
the people that I've met because of arm wrestling, and arm wrestling's been great to me, where I've got to travel all over the world and compete and meet amazing people everywhere. It's This sport is so much better than any other sport, because we're all friends, right? And it draws us together, and we share that same common passion. And unlike other sports, like, I don't care what the sport is, there, this is a one-on-one sport, right? Us versus the opponent across from us, like boxing, right? So there's no team, there's no anything, but ultimately we're all on the same team, right? And
yeah,
it's how do we make the sport bigger? How do we have the most fun with it? And everyone wants to be the best. That's called competition.
yeah.
But I'll tell you, the memories I have, and we could talk days and days and days about all the different awesome people that I've met. And I literally, when I go away for work, I put online, okay, I'm going to go here, and then I try to get in with a group to be able to practice and meet different people and whatever.
Yeah.
Met amazing people when I went down to Charleston. I met amazing people when I went over to Dallas. I met amazing people, when I went down to Houston. I met, amazing people, and then I went up to what was it? Oh, Florida. Then it's just countless places,
Yeah.
right? Michigan. You go to all these different places. You just put it on there, and then it's like boom. Now we get a group. I went to Baltimore, and then to be able to go to these different practices, and then it's the same thing. It's like everyone there is just they're all passionate about the sport, and everyone's just wants to hang out, have a good time, and then it's like we're all best friends.
All
So
brothers and sisters. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, we are.
yeah,
I just started competing in the States because I'm trying to get myself out there more now. And you know what? It was like I didn't leave. I was competing with the same bunch of guys I'm with all the time here. Like I got treated just like a brother. Like it was great.
yeah.
They didn't say, oh, the Canada boy. They just looked at me as an arm wrestler, and we had great times. And now I'm
Now where are
heavily
you?
involved over there. So
Where are you near? You near Thunder Bay?
no, no. Matt lives in Red Deer, Alberta now.
Oh,
He
okay.
used to live in Thunder Bay, like near there you're young, when he was young. But
Yeah,
I'm in Calgary, Alberta, and then I train at Red Deer. It's about
yeah.
an
So
hour
that's more
drive.
west.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, Matt was the reason I started arm wrestling. Kind of like you, I just kind of messaged him and I said, "Oh, I heard that you run practice." He goes, "Well, you want to get better?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you ain't gonna get fucking better unless you arm wrestle." So he gave me his address. Matt gave me his address, and I drove out to his house, and I've been hooked ever since, man. Ever since. And he's such a good coach too, you know, like,
Yeah.
what's funny is we talk about how Matt hits and hits and hits. He doesn't train us to do that. He tells us in practice, he tells us to hold the position and like
Yeah.
work from, yeah, like he trains totally different than when he gets on the table, it's like he fucking just turns into this madman, right? Yeah, yeah. But
That's
he's
funny.
a great coach and he's helped me out tons. And it's hard pulling him because his lever's so damn long.
Yeah.
It's a little intimidating for a newer guy. I've only been pulling a
Yeah.
few years, so but it also helps too, because then you feel where the level is too, right? And
No, it's absolutely.
we got one of the best clubs in all of Canada, actually. We went down, we did a Montana versus Alberta, and we won 21-7 or something like that.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we just spanked Montana, but we made good friends there, and now they're coming here to our events, and like we're helping train some of those guys. And actually, there's this new promotion I'm a part of. It's the M Spot. They're reenacting WAL, so they're
Oh,
doing,
geez.
yeah, they're doing good things. This guy does. He works with the UFC. He's been doing UFC since 121, and he also has done the World Series. Like he's a
Oh,
producer.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but he sees something in arm wrestling. So he's doing this thing. He just got a TV deal. So we're banging off like an event a month. So, and most of the
Unreal.
events are in Montana right now. We had New York. We did the City Slickers event. It was New
Mhm.
Jersey, New York, and somewhere else. And they came down and it was country folk versus City Slickers. It was really good. It was set up just like WAL. Like, see, the
Jeez.
thing is, what do you, can I ask you, actually, this is a good topic, actually, Jerry, because it's kind of like how I got to know you guys and what made me get involved in arm wrestling was the WAL.
Mhm.
Now, they say that the talent pool's gobbled up and oh, the WL couldn't come back. But I don't think, like, as a fan at the time, I don't think it was based on the level of the arm wrestlers. It was more the matches that were made and the atmosphere and the production of the matches. Like I think WL could have came back, and I think that they could have just started a new talent pool and build up new arm wrestlers, right? Like, do you think that they didn't come back based on not having the talent, like it all being gobbled up by East versus West?
Um, there was so many talks that they were gonna come back, and those talks were prior to East versus West growing, right?
Mhm.
And because I had
You were under
talked,
contract for a while. That's why you didn't
well, I
pull.
was under contract with WAL,
Yeah.
right? And then, but then when COVID happened, it really, it killed it. And then it never recovered. It never resurfaced after that. And but there was talks multiple times because I had got numerous phone calls about, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. And I don't know if those calls were set up to make sure I didn't sign with East versus West or, whatever it was. But
Travis was saying
obviously,
the same thing. Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, he was one of the people that was calling me.
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah,
But
it makes sense.
but there was multiple people. And so it's, ideally, East WAL was super cool because it was in the States. You flew out the day before. I competed then, right, and then I went home that night or the next morning. So and it was cool because it was in the States. But East versus West, I think, really took WAL and fine tuned it, and then I think part of it was engineering a talent pool that wasn't just in the United States, where they went outside.
Yeah.
And it was at the end, WAL was because I was being contracted my next match after me and Michael's bullshit match for the championship, right? My next match was already contracted and I'd already signed it, was against Kanai.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was going to be the following season. That was going to be the home opener, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, whatever I have to do, I just want to go against Michael again so I can take the trophy, take the
Mhm.
title. And so it's just funny because that was the match, and the um, whatever it was right after COVID, then we couldn't get it to happen, and then East versus West picked it up, and that's where it happened.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? As a fan, I'm looking back and I'm, like I said, I don't think it mattered on the talent pool, though. I really don't. I think that we have so many arm wrestlers in North America that, yeah, they're not at your level, like that elite level, but they're at a very
Mhm.
high, like competitive level. And I
Sure.
really think it was entertaining, man. Like, like back when I watched WL, I didn't know you were one of the tops in the world. I just knew that you were awesome and it was fun watching your matches. And it was like, where you guys stood in the world, it was kind of not relevant as a fan. Like, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? More about the characters and the matches and all that. And I think that there is room in this M spot that I'm involved with. They have that passion and that vision. They want to bring it
Yeah.
mainstream and they want to do it like make it about the matches and make it about the scenario like they did the city slickers versus the country folk and
I
they
like it.
yeah, and it came down to the wire. The last match was decided by the women because
Oh, jeez.
Steve Walker's daughter came, Maddie, and she ended up putting on a show and then won it for the City Slickers. Yeah, so it was like,
Wow, that's funny.
yeah, yeah, and it's that kind of stuff that is like, kind of exciting, and there's like a story behind it. I mean, I think if you got the production, I think it could be something pretty great, right?
Oh,
So.
I agree.
Yeah, if
I
you ever
like it.
get time, check out the M spot on YouTube and just
I'll
I
check
competed it. I competed in the first big one, the Arms Again.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So you get to see me win. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit, that's cool.
Yeah. Maybe I'll send you a link and you can just when you get
Yeah,
time
send it to me. I'll check
sometime,
it
you can
out.
watch it. Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
check
But
it out.
it's yeah, and then you can let me know what you think because I think that it's kind of just reminds me of that WAL. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, over the years, there's been a few, and I
Yeah.
think each one is got the right idea because they're seeing what
Yeah.
was done before, right?
One
Because
just screwed up bad. Yeah, and
yeah,
that's Greg. Yeah. I don't know if you heard. It's like I said, that stupid arm wrestling drama. Greg Sharp got mad at a few people and he banned everybody. Yeah. He made an announcement. If you compete at Winter Blast or you compete at Arm Gods, you are banned forever from the World Championship of Arm Wrestling. And it was
gee.
like, you know what? I understood he was upset, but I think it hurt him more than it's going to help him because, there's the last thing we ever want to hear as arm wrestlers is that we're banned, right? So,
Yeah, that's silly.
yeah, it was silly. I think he's regretting it now. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty stupid. But he has a TV deal. He did one season on Tubi. It's like a free streaming network.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
that was still pretty cool because it's still on TV. I think he got like over a million like views and like over a million people watched it that season.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like if we can get the content and get it on like a sports network, like people are going to watch it. And I think we need to see, East versus West and everything. Like we're all as arm wrestlers, we're all going to buy it and we're all going to
Mhm.
support you guys, like our favorite arm wrestlers and everything. But I don't know what it does for bringing in outside viewers. Like, you know what I mean? Like we want to get those guys that are watching UFC or those guys that are watching Slap Fight or actually we just did an event in Montana last month and we did arm wrestling and slap fight.
Oh,
So
gee.
yeah, so after the arm wrestling was done, I got to watch people get knocked out. Have you ever watched that slap fighting? They just
Yeah,
stand there and you just
yeah,
smack
I've
them and
seen it. They gotta hold the bar behind their back,
yeah.
right?
Oh
Just lean
yeah,
your face forward, put a mouthpiece in, and let them
brutal.
have at it.
It's
I tell you
brutal.
what, I don't want to be the person that gets hit first. I want to be the person
No.
hit first.
Well, that's the thing, right? What if you flip a coin and every time you're getting hit? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that sucks, man. Because think about the advantage of hitting first, right? Because as you hit him first, you now knocked some of his energy out, right,
Or
and
knock them
inflicted
out.
pain, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you didn't knock him out, you at least brought him from a 10 to an 8, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you're like, okay, I'm gonna let him hit me, and then I'm gonna bring him down to a 6, and then I'm gonna bring
Yeah.
him down
Yeah.
to a 4. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
But instead, you're getting hit. It's like,
Oh
yeah, I
yeah,
think I could give the slaps. I wouldn't want to get them. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And plus, I don't see it. I see CTS being a real issue. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
oh yeah, man. Like, how long do you think you can do that sport? But and you see them, they grow these big beards, right?
Yeah,
So that way, maybe you miss and you hit their beard, right?
yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like maybe
yeah,
a cushion.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. So. Well, anyway, Jerry, listen, I'm not going to keep you all night, bro. I appreciate you coming on. It was
All right.
awesome having you, and I wish good things for you. And
Thanks, my man.
yeah, I'd like to see your if you do any training and you get motivated to do a little recording, do
Yeah,
it up, man. Because
I'll I'll get back at it. Like I said, this week is I started Sunday and I'm like, I went in to go lift the weights and I'm like, oh yeah, thinking I'll just pick up like muscle memory, right? It's gonna be fine. It'd be just like
Yeah.
I was. I went to go pick it up. I had to check the weight twice. I was like, holy shit, that's a lot heavier than I remember.
It
It'll come back quick, but I'm just like, oh,
will.
okay, right? Because I'm trying to do I was doing the preacher curl, and I usually do the full rack, 150, and I'll bang it out for 35, 40 times, and with one arm. So I go to do it, and I was like, oh, damn. All
Feels
right,
heavy.
let me start at like 120.
And then you
So
worked into it. Yeah, yeah.
dropped it down to 120, and I was like, all right, this is a little better, right?
I
But
did. Well, I stopped benching for 6 months. And when I stopped benching, I was doing 265. And what I do is I like to use chains. Have you tried the
yeah,
chains? See,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, I do the progressive overload to try to get my strength up. So
yeah.
I was doing 265 with two 20 kg chains for 15. And
Oh,
that,
that's good.
yeah, and then I went back about 2 weeks ago after like 6, 7 months of not benching. It was horrible. Just felt
Yeah.
heavy. Yeah, yeah,
No,
it just felt heavy. Yeah.
it does.
Oh yeah.
It
So I
does.
had to
I'm
take
like,
a
oh,
bunch of
what the
weight off and
frig?
swallow my pride. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why there won't be any recordings for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, look, in about 3 weeks, I'll start looking.
Yeah. I should be fine by then.
Oh,
I
for sure.
figure I'm committing to a new match, so I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to get back into shape and get at it anyway. So
Okay.
because
So you do
I
expect you will have a match coming up?
I do have one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I won't bug you because it's not announced yet.
They haven't announced it yet,
Okay.
no. But it's coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I've got, I gotta push myself to get back in there. And I did it based on the fact that I could see myself just, you know, whatever you want to call it, sinking and finding myself in that spiral that was getting sucked down. So I needed something to shift my focus and something to look forward to.
You
So
need
this
something
is it.
to motivate you, to give you
Yeah.
direction and purpose. Yeah, because
Yeah.
just to do it is, I always need something. I always taking some kind of match or planning some kind of event because that way I stay motivated. Because if I have
Yeah.
nothing, I'm not as motivated. Yeah, so it's
Nope,
always
it's
good
true.
to have that motivation, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Set
for sure.
daily goals, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly, exactly. But okay, brother. Well, thanks a
All right, my
lot. I
man.
appreciate you coming on, and I'll bug you. I'll bug you down the road again. Maybe after your
Yeah.
next big win, maybe you can come back and talk with us.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one. So
Yeah,
yeah.
fuck yeah. Okay,
All right,
brother.
my man.
Well, thank you, man. All the best to you and your family. We'll talk soon, brother.
All right, thank you. Take care.